Hey, it's your pal Palamation, and this video is going to be a short and sweet one. I'm just going to play some random background footage as I talk, as I'm rushing to get this video out before the rumored Nintendo Direct that may just leave this video mute. So anyway, the sequel to Breath of the Wild was shown off over a year ago, and since then we've had very little information on it, aside from an interview with Aonuma where he confirmed that we will be traversing the same map of Hyrule from the previous game. Now, if you watched my last video where I discussed my hopes for this sequel, you may remember that I listed a new map as my number one. So this news was definitely saddening, but there is a glimmer of hope. Recently, some rumors have been sprouting that the sequel will utilize time travel in some way. Time travel is nothing new to the Zelda series, as games like Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Oracle of Ages, Twilight Princess, and Skyward Sword all had it in some shape or form. And while these are rumors and should definitely be taken with a huge grain of salt, I do feel time travel has a lot of potential in this story and could definitely solve some problems I foresee the sequel having. So what could time travel do for this game? Well, the most important thing it would offer us is a new map. Kinda. We would still get the map of Hyrule we've come to know and love from the previous title, however this time we would get to view it from a different point in history, meaning several towns, landmarks, climates, and people would be drastically different. We'd likely get several all-new locations, as well as areas we once knew as ruins, in their original and thriving glory. This would definitely solve the map issues and provide a fresh new exploration experience while keeping the same map layout. And I can't deny how amazing it would be to explore places like the Hyrule Castle and Market in their former state. So when in time could we expect them to go back to? The way I see it, there are two likely options. The first being right before the calamity struck. This option is likely as we know the voice actors for the deceased champions are all returning, and this would explain how we interact with them again. Though I'll admit, going back to this point doesn't make much sense to me. Would the goal be to completely prevent the events of the first game, or maybe to try and save all the champions so they can be alive in the present? The first game seemed to wrap up pretty nicely, so I don't see why Link and Zelda would feel the need to go back in time, aside from maybe wanting to save their friends. But it doesn't seem like a risk they'd want to take, considering things seem to wrap up pretty nicely for the most part. Also, I could see things getting a little messy, as Link and Zelda already exist in that time, so I'm not sure how they'd approach having two identical Links and Zeldas. All in all, I just don't see what all they would need to learn in this time period. I don't see them trying to rewrite history, as their reasons for going back in time will likely stem from a new threat emerging, so this option seems unnecessary, though I can't argue against finally seeing what the younger Impa looks like on that unviewable photo. Now for me, the more interesting option would be to jump back 10,000 years in the past, to when Calamity Ganon was first sealed. This period in time is only briefly touched upon in the first game, so there's tons of room to expand the story and lore. Unlike Calamity Ganon's attack 100 years ago, we never actually see the battle where they seal Calamity Ganon. It would definitely be interesting to travel back to this time and see all the events leading up to this battle, as well as meet all the characters involved. There would still be two Zeldas, but these Zeldas would be very different people, and could lead to some fun interactions. The towns and land structure could go through some very heavy changes as well, since obviously the world is going to be very different 10,000 years ago, giving you even more incentive to explore the region. The character I'd be most excited to meet is this guy, the legendary hero who wielded the Master Sword and fought to seal Calamity Ganon. What's most interesting about him is that he doesn't resemble Link much at all, but with his flowing red hair, appears much closer to Ganondorf. Could this actually be Ganondorf fighting to seal the evil he was cursed with all those years ago? And if so, how is he able to wield the Master Sword? Now there's no telling if this is really him, but the resemblance is eerie, and would definitely provide some intriguing questions. This would also explain the need to travel back to this time, as if Ganon and Ganondorf really did separate, we may need to go back to this time for some answers as to what happened to him in the present. Even if it's just a weird art style choice, and this is actually just a different Link, the potential of traveling back to this time has endless possibilities. Of course, this is all just speculation. Maybe we won't go back to either of those times, or maybe it's all wrong and there won't even be time travel at all. As mentioned before, time travel would be a great way to introduce a similar map while adding in some fresh takes. I mean, Zelda is no stranger to this. But what do you guys think? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, and if you like this video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing. It'd mean a lot. But as always, it's been real, it's been fun, it's been real fun. Have a good one.